to be able to tell you what I've found on the other side of midlife. I predict you're going to be surprised too. But why is it so hard to see that good times are coming? Why do we suffer so when we begin to lose our youth? I pondered that question for some time, and when I first got the answer, I almost laughed. Because what causes our blindness is so hidden and at the same time so obvious that it's almost like a trick that's being played on us. You see, nature wants you to hate getting older. It's part of your biological makeup that you feel anguished about it. Because if everything after midlife looks distasteful, you will naturally resist getting older, and as you'll see, that makes you a lot more useful to your species. Right now, this explanation may not make much sense, but it will. And it certainly doesn't make your present situation any easier to bear. Because whatever the reasons, your feelings tell you that something has gone wrong. You weren't supposed to stop being young, not yet. There was so much you wanted to happen, so much that didn't turn out the way you expected. To you, it looks like the dice have been thrown, and this is what you got. The shine is off tomorrow. You have definitely fallen out of love with your life. Well, I'd like to show you how to fall back in love with it again. I know this sounds like a tall order, and there are lots of books and magazine articles trying to help you cope with the scary changes that are happening to you, but I'm not talking about coping. I don't think you need to cope with life. You need to know a new way to live it. And you know perfectly well that you feel too young for the books that tell you how to live after retirement. Even I feel too young for them. This is no ending, and this is no time to stop. It's time to make a movie, or study the ocean floor, or start a poetry journal, or go to medical school, or open a bank, or do anything else you've got the brains and talent to do. But great thinkers all agree on one thing, and so do I. It's time to quit wishing you could stop the clock. You've got exciting work to do and a whole new way of living to learn, so it's vital that you outgrow your fear of the future as soon as possible. If you don't, you'll waste precious years mourning the loss of youth, or worse, trying to hang on to it. Look at this all too typical scenario. You wake up one day and you're 40. Shock sets in, and you use the next 10 or 15 years fighting the downward spiral with everything you've got. You start joining gyms and getting facelifts. You dream of driving through your birthday cake in a red Bronco, or running off with someone half your age. If none of that makes you feel young again, which it won't, you might even decide to sell all your worldly goods, buy a sailboat or a Winnebago, and disappear into the sunset. None of which might seem so bad for the first 3 days, but after that, you wake up one morning and you still have to figure out how to live. After a number of years, you might come to realize that all your fears of getting older were unfounded, that you've been handed a much better life than you ever expected. It happens to a lot of people. The problem is, it might not happen to you until your late 50s or 60s. Do you really want to wait that long? That would be like paying for a 10-day vacation and arriving on day 7, a friend told me. If the years between now and then were good years, I'd say who cares? But they're not. In my personal experience and the other stories people have told me, they're usually miserable and stressed, loaded with turmoil and feelings of being abandoned or even betrayed by fate. Now, let's imagine a different scenario. You hit midlife with no resistance at all, understanding what a special stage you've come to. You realize what a dangerous illusion your feelings of immortality have been. You start paying attention to your dreams to decide how you want to live. You begin to write the books that are in you, or go into the theater and become an actor like you've always wanted, or you become an Arctic explorer, or a business owner, or you build the community you've always known was possible, or you head out and see the world you've always longed to see. In other words, you start to live your life to suit who you really are. You go after your own dreams with a new respect and a clear mind because you don't have to prove anything. You're not trying to impress anyone. And the top item on your list of priorities says, find the life I was born to live. Everything else comes after that. The trap has opened and you are free. Fears of getting older or less beautiful, of not being wanted or successful, all disappear. You don't have to walk out on your life and escape to the South Seas like a latter-day Gauguin because your feelings of being trapped are gone. What will show up in their place? Your original self. A self you haven't seen since childhood, if ever. It's who you were before puberty changed you forever and threw up a mountain range of aches and urgencies so high you lost sight of the original creature you were.